This new lawsuit introduces us to a plaintiff named Minaro Joseph. He's being represented by an attorney named Travis R. Walker, is alleging he was a victim of, well, a whole range of things. We're talking human trafficking, drugging, kidnapping, sexual exploitation, but also obstruction of justice, witness tampering, fraudulent concealment, conspiracy, stuff like that, all allegedly breaking federal and Florida laws. What's particularly striking about Mr. Joseph's claims, listener name, is that he says he actually has medical records from a licensed urologist and surgeon. So these aren't just like vague claims of harm. These records reportedly document actual sexual maiming, disfigurement, and serious inguinal hernias. The audio source we're using really emphasizes that these injuries might even be inoperable and are still having a huge impact on his quality of life, his physical well-being. That level of documented detail, it definitely adds a stark and disturbing layer to these allegations. The lawsuit apparently goes to quite a bit of detail about a specific initial incident. This allegedly happened back in early April 2015. According to the claims, Mr. Joseph was at his home, 424 Valley Forge Road, West Palm Beach, Florida. As he was unlocking his door, he apparently felt some kind of greasy substance on his hand, described it as feeling like Vaseline. He tried to wash it off, but the lawsuit says he lost consciousness before he even could. Just boom, out.
Mm-hmm.
When Mr. Joseph came to, he claims he was in the back seat of a moving car. He alleges the vehicle was being driven by a defendant named Eric, with someone named Bonnie Rivera in the passenger seat. Mr. Joseph reportedly was confused, insisting he was supposed to be home. Then, according to the filing, right before he passed out again, he overheard Rivera and Eric talking. Rivera supposedly noticed Joseph waking up and asked if he should, knock him out again. But defendant Eric allegedly said, "No, don't touch him. Don't worry. Just give it a minute. He'll fall back asleep again. I gave him a lot of scopolamine." Okay, so the audio source then gives a quick rundown on scopolamine, points out that, yeah, in low doses it's used for nausea, motion sickness, but, listener name, it stresses that in high doses it can cause prolonged unconsciousness, like over 24 hours, and sometimes it can even be fatal. That detail really underlines the alleged danger of being given a large dose of this stuff without consent. So Mr. Joseph then claims he regained consciousness again, this time at the Deerfield Beach, Florida home of this defendant, Eric. He alleges he was being held there against his will. While there, he says he saw a man named Omar Bravo deliver 2 kilograms of narcotics, specifically named as cocaine and methamphetamine, to defendant Eric. Also supposedly present at that time was another defendant, Brendan Paul. He reportedly seemed nervous, sitting nearby holding a motorcycle helmet. After this alleged drug deal, the narcotics were supposedly put in Brendan Paul's backpack. And before leaving, Brendan Paul allegedly said that defendant Diddy wanted Mr. Joseph brought to a freakoff event. That statement, according to the source, made Mr. Joseph realize he was being moved again, totally against his will. So, listener name, we've heard about the alleged initial drugging and what happened right after. Now, the lawsuit gets into the next part, the alleged transport. The lawsuit then details the alleged trip to Star Island in Miami, Florida. When they got to the security booth, One Star Island Drive, everyone in the car apparently had to show ID. Mr. Joseph claims he was, forcefully woken up from his drug-induced state just so he could provide his ID. Defendant Eric allegedly told security they were going to an event at the Estefan mansion, mentioning it was Christian's birthday party. The lawsuit suggests security logs would show this entry. Okay, then Mr. Joseph alleges he was dragged through the back entrance of the Estefan mansion around 12:30 a.m. Inside, he claims Gloria Estefan saw his condition, got panicked, and demanded someone call an ambulance. But a defendant named Emilio Estenan allegedly shut her down quickly and kind of ushered her away. The source notes this Emilio is likely Gloria Estefan's husband. Right at this point, the lawsuit claims Mr. Joseph briefly saw LeBron James. He was reportedly just wearing a white bath towel, brown shower shoes, carrying a shaving bag, walking through the hall. LeBron James allegedly looked at Mr. Joseph and, sort of in response to Gloria Estefan's worry about an ambulance, supposedly remarked, "Y'all better do something about that." The lawsuit goes on to detail alleged degrading and non-consensual acts, claiming Mr. Joseph was assaulted, forced to participate in unwanted sexual activity using the mask and a sex toy on a big leather ottoman until he lost consciousness again. These are obviously incredibly disturbing allegations, listener name. When Mr. Joseph apparently regains some awareness later, he claims he was locked in a small, dark side room, left on a black leather couch until defendants Adria and Eric came in, dressed him, and got him ready to leave. While still sort of semi-conscious, he says he ran into Jacob Arabo, Jacob the jeweler. Arabo was reportedly visibly disturbed by how Mr. Joseph looked, by the forced attire. Arabo allegedly asked, "What's this? What's going on with this guy? Why is he standing here staring at me with an expletive strapped to his face?" Defendant Eric supposedly answered, saying, "Oh, he's just some guy who's a snitch. We're teaching him a little lesson."
Hmm.
Defendant Emilio Estan reportedly stepped in then, telling Eric and Bonnie Rivera to get Mr. Joseph out of Erebos' sight. Gloria Estefan allegedly again pleaded for an ambulance, but Emilio Estan reportedly silenced her again, pushed her into the crowd. It paints a really chaotic, disturbing picture, listener name. As they were leaving the event, Mr. Joseph claims he overheard defendant Diddy ask defendant Eric, "You're going to be getting rid of him, right?" To which defendant Eric allegedly replied, "Yeah, I'll be taking care of that." After this alleged freak-off event, Mr. Joseph states he was taken back to his apartment where he was, and I quote filing here, "savagely beaten and left for dead." The brutality described as significant, listener name. The lawsuit also talks about the aftermath. Apparently, when some gang member later asked how Mr. Joseph was kept unconscious for so long, defendant Eric allegedly responded, "xylazine trained." Now, listener name, what's striking about that detail is how specific and unusual it is. Xylazine, as the source explains, it's an animal tranquilizer for horses, cattle. It's a sedative, muscle relaxer, pain reliever, totally not for human use. But it's been showing up more and more in illicit drugs, often mixed with fentanyl to make it stronger. The alleged use of a drug like that raises serious questions about, premeditation and the knowledge involved. As a direct result of all this alleged violence, Mr. Joseph claims he suffered catastrophic physical injuries, severe internal trauma, permanent groin damage, sexual maiming, multiple inguinal hernias. The lawsuit really stresses that these life-altering injuries are extensively documented by medical evaluations from a urologist and a surgeon. This medical documentation, listener name, it definitely adds a layer of significant potential corroboration to his claims of physical harm. Okay, so in the years after the alleged assault, Mr. Joseph claims defendant Eric started this ongoing campaign of targeted harassment. This supposedly included public unaliving threats, blaming Mr. Joseph for Bonnie Rivera's self-aliving, and even threatening to kidnap Mr. Joseph's minor son, all allegedly to intimidate him into staying quiet. The lawsuit states there's surveillance footage and official police records confirming multiple times defendant Eric unlawfully came near Mr. Joseph's property. Plus, the filing mentions a hitman known as Fredo Garcia, described as an associated defendant Eric, who's apparently now serving life for something else unrelated being seen in Mr. Joseph's alleyway. A police report supposedly backs this up, too, this whole pattern of alleged harassment and intimidation. The lawsuit also alleges obstruction by defendant Adria. She's accused of actively blocking Mr. Joseph's path to justice by tampering with evidence, interfering with legal proceedings, and conspiring to cover up the crimes against him. The filing claims these acts, the coercion, obstruction, threats, intimidation, continued until at least 2021. And the lawsuit argues this effectively tolled the statute of limitations, basically paused the clock under federal and state law. When we talk about fraudulent concealment, which is one of the allegations, that usually means someone tried to hide the truth specifically to stop legal action. That seems to fit with these claims of ongoing intimidation. According to the source, Mr. Joseph states Diddy himself called him a snitch and warned him of severe consequences if he cooperated with law enforcement or lawyers. These warnings were allegedly delivered both personally and through other people acting for Diddy. Mr. Joseph claims there were threats of physical harm, threats to his reputation if he revealed anything incriminating. He also alleged surveillance at his house, his job, plus anonymous messages warning him what would happen if he spoke out. No personal opinions, no judgments on whether these claims are true or not. It's crucial to remember these are allegations in a legal filing. This is just one step in what could be a very long legal process. The burden of proof is still on the plaintiff, Mr. Joseph.